out of the mountain of despair a stone of hope. You must never be fearful about what you are doing when it's right. Never feel guilty for starting again. Free at last. Free at last. Thank God Almighty we are free at last. Be careful with you tell people a friend today could be an enemy tomorrow. Science investigates, religion interprets. Science gives man knowledge, which is power. Religion gives man wisdom, which is control. If you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. It is not possible to be in favor of justice for some people and not be in favor of justice for all people. The time is always right to do what is right. Let no man pull you low enough to hate him. Never, never be afraid to do what's right, especially if the well-being of a person or animal is at stake. Society's punishments are small compared to the wounds we inflict on our soul when we look the other way. I refuse to accept the view that mankind is so tragically bound to the starless midnight of racism and war that the bright daybreak of peace and brotherhood can never become a reality. Some people just pretend to help you. Nothing in all the world is more dangerous than sincere ignorance and conscientious stupidity. Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? I was a drum major for justice, peace, and righteousness. The biggest mistake we make in life is thinking we have time. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. Set limits. Not everyone deserves your vibe. The more I learned about things, I realized how wrong I was before. Nothing in the world is more dangerous than sincere ignorance and conscientious stupidity. In each of us there is another whom we do not know. There is some good in the worst of us, and some evil in the best of us. When we discover this, we are less prone to hate our enemies. You may not be able to control every situation and its outcome, but you can control your attitude and how you deal with it. Never forget that everything Hitler did in Germany was legal. I have decided to stick with love. Hate is too great a burden to bear. It is not enough to say we must not wage war. It is necessary to love peace and sacrifice for it. The hope of a secure and livable world lies with disciplined nonconformists who are dedicated to justice, peace, and brotherhood. Man cannot stand a meaningless life. No matter what people tell you, words and ideas can change the world. Oppressed people cannot remain oppressed forever. The yearning for freedom eventually manifests itself. Those who are not looking for happiness are the most likely to find it, because those who are searching forget that the surest way to be happy is to seek happiness for others. Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. Every form of addiction is bad, no matter whether the narcotic is alcohol, morphine, or idealism. You are not only responsible for what you say, but also for what you do not say. You will never be good enough for everybody, but you will always be the best for someone who really appreciates you. If someone hates you and wants to look sad, there are usually 3 reasons why. He sees you as a threat, he hates himself, or he wants to be like you. Forgiveness is not an occasional act. It is a constant attitude. The first revolution is when you change your mind. I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. There comes a time when one must take a position that is neither safe, nor politic, nor popular, but he must take it because conscience tells him it is right. If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, have to keep moving forward. We must learn to live together as brothers or perish together as fools. If you are a gifted person, it doesn't mean you got something. It means you can give something away. Love is the only force capable of transforming an enemy to a friend. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. You become what you believe. Oppressed people cannot remain oppressed forever. The yearning for freedom eventually manifests itself. The function of education is to teach one to think intensively and to think critically. The time is always right to do what is right. I look to a day when people will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. Only in the darkness can you see the stars. He who is afraid needs dependence, as a weakened man needs support. Don't rush to help those who haven't asked you to, because not everyone who is drowning needs a hand. Some want to drown. I say to you today, my friends, that in spite of the difficulties and frustrations of the moment, I still have a dream. True peace is not merely the absence of tension, it is the presence of justice. Rule of life is very simple. Hunt or get hunted. Fake people have an image to maintain. Real people don't care. Learn the rules like a pro, so you can break them like an artist. In the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends. Knowledge rests not upon truth alone, but upon error also. The healthy man does not torture others. Generally, it is the tortured who turn into torturers. Some people want to see you fail, disappoint them. No one really knows why they are alive until they know what they die for. If I cannot do great things, I can do small things in a great way. Learn to say no without explaining yourself. The quality, not the longevity, of one's life is what is important. If money and material things make you believe you are better than others, you are the poorest person on earth. Never be afraid to do what's right, especially if the well-being of a person or animal is at stake. Darkness cannot drive out darkness, only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate, only love can do that. Smart people know when to act stupid. The arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends toward justice. We must learn to live together as brothers, or we will perish together as fools. There comes a time when silence is betrayal. Faith is taking the first step, even when you don't see the whole staircase. An individual has not started living until he can rise above the narrow confines of his individualistic concerns to the broader concerns of all humanity. It is not possible to be in favor of justice for some people and not be in favor of justice for all people. At the center of nonviolence stands the principle of love. Educating the mind without educating the heart is no education at all. Everybody can be great, because anybody can serve. You don't have to have a college degree to serve. You only need a heart full of grace, a soul generated by love. Love is the only force capable of transforming an enemy into a friend. Shame is a soul-eating emotion. The soul needs your recklessness, not your wisdom. If you don't know the whole story, then don't open your mouth. We must accept finite disappointment, but never lose infinite hope. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you'll call it fate. It's going to be hard, but hard is not impossible. Your ignorance is their power. No one can make you upset. You choose to be. Accept the reality that life will not be easy. You have to be strong. Focus on improving, not proving. We must accept finite disappointment, but never lose infinite hope. Where wisdom reigns, there is no conflict between thinking and feeling. We are not makers of history. We are made by history. The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy. Never explain yourself to anyone, because the person who likes you doesn't need it, and the person who dislikes you won't believe it. Behind every strong person is a story that gave them no choice. Let no man pull you low enough to hate him. A positive mind finds opportunity in everything. Intelligence plus character, that is the goal of true education. Now there is a final reason I think that Jesus says, love your enemies. It is this, that love has within it a redemptive power, and there is a power there that eventually transforms individuals. Difficult roads lead to beautiful destinations. We shall overcome, because the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends toward justice. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Life really does begin at 40. Up until then, you are just doing research. Stop doubting yourself, work hard and make it happen. Control your anger, because it's just one letter away from danger. Forgiveness is not an occasional act, it is a permanent attitude.